Hi, I'm coming on today to give kind of an overview of what I do. And people who know me know that I love to take complex concepts and create a concrete, almost kid-friendly way of looking at things. Because in terms of understanding the brain, I've spent my career doing this. And while I'm starting a new program, a parent-child neurodevelopmental program, I thought this was a good time to kind of review what is this? What is this whole program? What are you doing? And I'm going to use the bucket analogy. Okay? So, in this bucket, if you consider this levels of the brain, this is being the higher level of the brain, the emotional part of the brain, and the brain stem down here. And if you look at this top part, we've got academics, self-esteem, socialization, executive functioning, all those awesome skills that we really need to be really successful in school. And sometimes we find that our social skills are a little off, or our academic skills are a little off. And it might affect our self-esteem or our executive functioning, maybe. And that's what we see. We see that maybe some struggles, behavior problems, sadness. But when we add our learning and our knowledge to the bucket, so pretend this is kind of water, we are able to kind of hold on to a lot of things, and life isn't too bad. We can do tutoring or get some extra help at school or just work really hard at home and get through. The issue that I see, and so many other people see but not sure what to do about it, is when they go to their school conferences, they find out that their child is having a little trouble paying attention. So I'm going to take out attention. And they are having trouble sitting still in their seats. Their posture is slouched and they're fidgety. And then when they're walking around, they're dropping things on the floor or bumping into other people by mistake. But they get into arguments with peers because they're clumsy, right? So that would be body awareness. Well, if you go, then they get sent to an occupational therapist. And the occupational therapist looks at some sensory sensations to see how they're processing sensation. And they find that the muscles and joints of that child aren't really given the feedback that they want. And that is called proprioception. So that's kind of off. And vestibular, which is balance. They can't really do the balance beam, or they're constantly moving because if they slow down, they literally lose their balance. And then you bring that child to BrainFit Academy, where we look at the primitive reflex motor patterns. And that is actually lower than sensory. And we have survival patterns and we have developmental patterns. And when those motor patterns that were supposed to develop in utero and really finish up their job the first couple of years of life, we find that they're not fully developed and integrated. And so now we've got all these holes. So let's imagine what it would be like if I poured water or knowledge, learning and knowledge, into this bucket. Let me show you what it looks like. So wow, right? It's like everything's just pouring out, and it's no wonder we as parents and teachers are so tired because we're trying to keep the water in for the child, and the child is trying to keep the water in with no success. And so what happens? We start to have anxiety, we start to get no motivation, we start to have behavior problems, and things on top of the language difficulties or the motor learning difficulties. So what do I do with my parent-child neurodevelopmental program? I help parents and children plug the holes. We develop the brain from the bottom up so that we can access and reach those higher level learnings. Hope that helps. It's a very concrete way of looking at it, but it really makes just about that much sense.